Welcome back. This is Tilly, my sidekick. She loves to join me when I do yoga and often to try take up most of the mat. So I might have to move her out of the way at some point. Bear with me. We're going to touch on injury prevention and some studio 101's. It's going to be a quick video. I'd suggest just grabbing a pillow to sit on. Most studios, or all studios, will have blocks or cushions available for you to use as props. And I always grab a couple of blocks, and I usually would sit on a block. It helps lift the hips up higher than the knees or to be level with the knees, and that takes the pressure out of the knees. You might be seated like this, cross-legged. You could do a Japanese seat as well if that's something that you're able to and you haven't had any issues with your knees in the past. It does put quite a bit of pressure into the knees, so if you have had any issues, I'd suggest avoiding that one. So, clothing. Wear whatever's comfortable for you. I would suggest a fabric that's light and breathable. I have some light exercise shorts on. I've got this singlet on. It's a bit of a heavier singlet, so I wouldn't wear this whilst I'm doing a flow, and I'm going to change for when I get into the poses. However, it's just on for the moment. So whatever works for you, whatever's most comfortable, that's what I suggest going with. Hydration and nutrition. Some studios will have the temperature turned up, so it's important to know what sort of flow that you're signing up for before going down to the studio. If it is going to be a hot flow, a hot yoga class, I would suggest making sure that you've got enough water in your system before doing that, because they can get quite intense and you do tend to sweat a lot. I would recommend avoiding eating an hour before any yoga flow. It probably won't end well, and yeah, it's just not a good idea. Arrival time. So always try and arrive to the studio and give yourself enough time to get in and get settled. There's nothing worse than rushing to the class to make it before the doors closed. So I always try to arrive 15 minutes early, and that enables me to do my warm-up, which I'm about to share with you in a minute. So plan for some extra time, get there early, and get yourself warmed up, and it'll give you the best chance of having the best flow and avoiding injuries as well. Communication. If you do have an injury or you're navigating something, you might have a headache or just, struggling with a certain part of, you might be really flat, you can always let the teacher know when you're coming in, and they'll appreciate that. Teachers will often ask if there are any injuries, and don't be afraid to put your hand up, because they can then teach you the best and help you modify and change poses to suit where you're at. So that's Studio 101's. Very basic, very easy, and I'm sure you'll be able to remember all that. Now, in the next video, we're going to do some warm-ups, and it's crucial to get a warm-up in before doing a yoga class, even though yoga is perceived as something a bit more easygoing and not strenuous. Some of the poses that we get into, especially for our wrists and our shoulders, we need to do a little bit of warm-up to just ensure that we don't have any injuries there. So let's jump into that.